Hi, folks. Lou here, and I'm in the interesting situation that my computer is recording, but I cannot see what it's recording until after I get done. So we'll see how this goes. I want to talk about friction in warfare. This is something that is usually not modeled in commercial war games, and there are reasons for that. One, it's a little complicated. Two, it's quite random. But three, it's not very interesting. Now, what is friction? It's all the misunderstandings, the incompetence, the accidents, the screw ups, even simple driving failures that happen during wartime. If you look up casualty statistics with any detail, you're going to find a statistic for how many people died in road accidents. It happens. Well, in military terms, we're more interested in the friction that occurs because of misunderstandings and incompetence, because that can vary from one nation to another, depending on their doctrine and their equipment and their training and so forth. So in the real world, some nations may have worse friction than others. And of course, corruption can play into this too. I run into this in Empire Deluxe Enhanced Edition, which is an old video game. I have errors in pointing, etc., pointing my mouse at the wrong place, or thinking I have one unit clicked in order to give it orders, and in fact I have another unit clicked and I give an order and it applies to a different unit than what I thought. And these are all mistakes. And the way I play the game, I just say, well, that's part of friction and I'll suffer it, even though I don't like it. And if you play the game enough, which I do, it's going to happen. Now, this is mostly left out of games because it's mostly random. And games are about generalship, not about actual warfare. If you wanted to model actual warfare, you would have to include friction. But too much randomness is not wanted by people who are playing a game. And so we leave friction out of it, if for that reason alone. Also, it's pretty complex. You don't want to be rolling to see whether somebody dies of a heart attack or whether somebody misunderstands an order and so on, unless that's the focus of the game. So, for example, I genned up a game and play tested it slightly called Command and Control, Battlefield Command and Control, where I tried to model the possibility that the orders you give are not followed correctly. A unit isn't that's supposed to move one way or move somewhere else because they just screw up, which is easy to do, and so forth. But that was the focus of the game. It wasn't ancillary to the rest of the game. It was there to illustrate how this stuff works. So I guess you could say friction is not something you need to worry about if you're designing a war game or any other kind of game, because of course there's friction in everyday life, similar mistakes and foolishness and so forth. Thanks for listening.